Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you this look right here, which is kind of my transitioning into winter makeup look. I pulled some of my favorite products out of the archives, this deeper blush and this lip combo, and I've really been loving them again. And I'm also super excited to show you this under eye concealer combination that I've been absolutely loving at the moment. And if you want to see how I got this look right here, then please keep watching. For this look, it's kind of like a transitional fall to winter look, so I'm going to go in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear Light, and I really don't see people talking about this foundation all that often, but it's a really good option if you have oily skin but you don't want super full coverage or you don't want your makeup to feel really cakey. So I'm just applying it with a damp beauty blender. And it kind of gives that same finish as the Double Wear. It's kind of a more matte finish, and it is, I think, actually like a medium coverage, even though it says light. And you can certainly build this up to a full coverage, which is probably what I'll do today. I do one little pea-sized bit for my T-zone, another pea-sized bit for my cheeks, and then a third bit to go back over everything to kind of cover any spots. I especially have some kind of bigger dark blemishes at the moment, but I really like this formula because it like I said, kind of keeps my oil at bay but doesn't make it feel too cakey. And in the winter, I don't want to feel like too cakey, but I do kind of want that fuller coverage look. And I just took a second pea-sized amount and am using that all over my cheeks. And as you can see, the coverage is really good kind of right off the bat. Like, it's not super light coverage, but it's not super heavy. So if you wanted to use a more sparing amount, you could definitely get a really light coverage out of this, but it will still keep like oily skin under control. So it kind of depends how you want to use it. You can build it up or not. And this right here is the look with kind of just one coat all over. But I'm going to take the foundation and do one more kind of pea-sized amount and just spread this all over the face just to show you how you can build up the coverage, because it really is buildable. So as you can see, I had some darker large blemishes here and around my chin area as always, but with just one more like light coat, it really just covers them up. And this foundation doesn't feel like it's like suffocating your skin at all. It just kind of blends in, it feels really light. And I have kind of a nice, the Kypris Hydrating Primer on underneath, their Heliotropic, which is my SPF and primer. So that kind of helps keep the dewy look to my skin. So as you can see, it's not like matting down too ashy or anything. Like, this isn't going to give you a super matte finish, but kind of a more natural finish. So foundation is on, and I really like the coverage that this gives. And now I'm super excited to show you the concealer combination that I've been loving lately. And I'm going to use one of my favorites, which is the Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Concealer. And I'm going to layer over it the YSL Touche Eclat primer, or Radiant Touch concealer here. And this I have in the shade 1, and the Becca I have in the shade Porcelain. And the Becca is more of like a neutral undertoned concealer, as you can see. And as you can tell, I have super dark circles, so I kind of discovered this combination because I've been trying to mask them since I just haven't been sleeping well the last few weeks. So my dark circles have been super prominent, and just a regular concealer is okay, but it just really wasn't canceling out that purpley undertone. So I kind of put on the Becca concealer like that, and then I take 2 pumps of the YSL and layer that on top. And as you can see, the YSL concealer is much more pinky, which is good because the peachy tones cancel out the purpley tone of your dark circles. So I just kind of layer this right on top, and the mix of these two really brightens and gives like a fresh look under the eyes. You'll see when I blend it out. So I'm just going to take the corner of my damp beauty blender and start buffing this in. And layering a more pinky concealer like this YSL one on top of a regular one is a really good trick, particularly if you're on the more fair or light-skinned side. It really helps you look more healthy, because a super yellow toned concealer can make you look more sickly unless you have kind of that olivey, more tan undertone in your skin. So if you're on the fairer side, kind of try to opt for something a little more pinky, because A, it's going to help cancel out your dark circles, and it's also going to help you look like healthier and brighter. So as you can see, it's just super bright and concealed the dark circle beautifully. I'm just absolutely obsessed with this combination. I'm just absolutely in love with this combination of concealer under the eyes. As you can see, it looks super fresh and just concealed and brightened, and I can't see my dark circles peeking through at all. I'm just loving it. So now to set it, I'm going to use my Laura Mercier translucent powder and take that same corner of my damp beauty blender to kind of press this in to set it. But the texture of these concealers is really creamy and hydrating, so if you have dry skin, you can probably just skip setting it and it will still look really beautiful. But if you have oily skin like I do, just setting it lightly with this Laura Mercier powder makes it not crease all day. Like I haven't had a problem at all with this budging and creasing up. To perfect my skin even further, I'm going to go in with my BareMinerals Bisque and my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush and just kind of take this powder concealer and pack it on anywhere where I need additional coverage. So for me, my nose has been really textured at the moment and having some like weird breakouts and dry skin. So I'm just going to press this lightly onto my nose to kind of help that get some extra coverage. And then I'm also going to take a little bit and press it into any zits. Like I have this giant one on my cheek here and some darker areas kind of around my chin. Nothing too crazy, I'm not caking on a whole bunch, but just enough to kind of set the foundation and kind of give a lot of extra coverage and ensure that it doesn't budge and that I don't lose the coverage throughout the day. And then to set the rest of the face, I'm going to go in with my Osmosis Color Mineral Pressed Base in Fair, and I'm going to take this on my La Mer powder brush and just lightly set everything. And this is going to ensure that the oils don't peek through as much. This foundation already kind of helps keep oil at bay, but for me, or if you're a true oily skin girl, you still have to set anyway. But this one is just kind of a healthier powder that doesn't irritate my skin and just adds a hint more coverage while kind of helping the foundation stay set on your skin. To finish off the skin, I'm going to go in with my Glow Minerals Bronzer in Sunlight and my Osmosis, I think this is the full face brush. And lately I've just not really been contouring, I've just been using this large brush to kind of bronze up the whole face. And this is kind of just like an easier, more everyday way to kind of add some warmth to the face without having to sit there and kind of carve out your cheekbones. And while I'm doing the bronzer, I just want to quickly mention my eye look is kind of the same thing I do every day. So I set my eyelids with the MAC Painterly Paint Pot, and then I went over it with a big fluffy brush and MAC Rice Paper to kind of set the whole area, and then I took soft brown through the crease, and then I used my Maybelline Unstoppable eyeliner and the Kat Von D Trooper eyeliner to create the wing, and then I just used my YSL The Shock Mascara. So this is kind of my everyday eye look, super simple. I just didn't want to do it again for the 100th time. And bronzer's all over the face, and I'm just going to take my Nars Ita brush and lightly dust some down the sides of my nose just to cut the glare and kind of add some definition to the center of my face. And for highlighter, I'm going to use my favorite at the moment, which is the Fenty Beauty Killawatt highlighter in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. So I'm going to take both sides, first the more subtle side and dust that onto the cheekbones, and then the more intense side right on top. And I'm really loving this lately. I forgot how much I love a pinkier highlight, and this also complements the blush that I'm going to use really well. And I think a pinkier highlight, something about it's just more wintry to me, because gold or champagne kind of undertones just seem more summery, but I love the pink. And then the blush I'm talking about is one of my favorites that I usually actually wear in the summertime, but I've been seeing everyone on YouTube using it, and that is Nars Sin. And it's this really deep kind of purpley shade, and it looks like if you're fair that you won't be able to pull it off, but trust me, you can. Especially in the winter, this like darker purple shade makes you actually look tanner. I don't know what it is, so I'm just applying this with my Estee Lauder blush brush, but I think in the winter it really like comes off as a cool toned wintry look, and the purple and the pink highlighter kind of complement each other really well. Okay, for brows I'm going to be using my favorite product. I'm back to this again, this Clinique Superfine Liner for Brows in shade 02 Soft Brown. And to set the brows I'm going to use my Glossier Boy Brow in Brown and just kind of comb them through with this. And then to kind of finish off the eye look, first I'm going to go back in with my YSL The Shock Mascara and add one more coat to the top of my lashes, and then I'm also going to put this on my bottom lashes. And to highlight the inner corner, I'm going to use my Kevyn Aucoin Contour Book Volume 2 and take the Brighten shade on this small shader brush just into the inner corners. This is my all-time favorite inner corner highlight shade, and I just use it every day. I can't really stop. I can't find anything else that's as good. To finish off the whole look, I'm not going to transition too far into winter just yet and do a darker, deeper lip. Instead, I'm going to go for a combination that I totally forgot about that I recently pulled back out. And first I'm going to start out with the NYX Nude Pink Lip Liner. And I'm just going to line the whole lip and fill it in with this. And then I know winter is typically a matte lip kind of season, but I'm just a glossy lip kind of girl, so I'm going to go on top of it with my Revlon Colorburst Lip Butter in the shade Crème Brule, which is super beautiful. This is a nice nude shade. And the combination of these two just makes your lips look like bigger and plumper and beautiful. So that's it. This is the finished look, and this is kind of the look I've been doing to get me in the mood for winter. It's nothing super wintry, but the purpley blush and kind of more involved lip that has a liner and lipstick layered on top of each other is kind of getting me in the mood for those like higher maintenance matte lips and the deeper berry tones of winter makeup. So that's it for this look. As always, all the products that I used will be listed down below, so check out the description box if you're interested. And I'm also uploading 3 days a week on Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, so subscribe down below if you haven't already, and thank you so much for watching.